Well, last night we had our first post-game Tomahawk after a loss. So today we have our first pre-game Tomahawk talk after a loss. Welcome to Eldridge Park here in Orleans. Calvin Christoforo, Reeves Jackson, and Daniel Coates. Hey, Daniel, let's go back to last night. We've had some time to digest the loss a little bit. The Braves unable to scratch across a run, but they scattered 9 hits, out-hitting Katuitt 9-3. So what do you think the recipe is for this offense to get back on track today?
It has to strike early and also get those guys into scoring position. When they are, they need to produce. And I think Harvey Shapiro constructed a lineup today with Kyler Fedko leading off, and at the 2 will be Max Anderson, at the 3 will be Dalton Rushing. So moving those productive guys in the middle of the lineup to the front, trying to get production early and often, giving Knapczyk and Lampe, who have been a bit cold in the last few games at the plate, a day of rest. So I think Harvey Shapiro is saying to these guys, we know we need to produce right now, and we can't just wait until there's men on base. We have to produce immediately at the plate.
And Reeves, are you surprised by that lineup change? Daniel mentioned it, but no Joe Lampe tonight, no Christian Knapczyk. I can't remember the last time both of those guys were out of the lineup on the same night. Do you think that's warranted, or is it too much of an overcorrection?
Part of me feels both ways. Part of me feels like, at the same time, Joe Lampe and Christian Knapczyk are your table setters at the top of the order, and I understand. The other part of me is like, I understand a need for a change because the offense has been a little cold as far as producing runs, but I feel like the offense has been that bad where you need to take probably your 2 best hitters on the season out of the lineup, but hopefully just for a day, see if the lineup changes up. I feel like tomorrow, though, Lampe and Knapczyk will be reinserted. Rarely have you seen Christian Knapczyk get 2 days off in a row.
Yeah.
Did come in and pinch it last night and struck out, so that makes 4 strikeouts and a ground into a double play at Knapczyk's last 5 at-bats. But at the same time, I feel like part of me feels each way. I feel like at the same time, those are the guys that have been doing it all year, but maybe the change will pay off for him, and maybe Harvey Shapiro's constructed lineup will get the Braves' bats off to a hot start.
I hope so, too. And Daniel, we're going to stick with this offense a little bit. Do you think it's on the shoulders of a couple of guys, or is it more the lineup as a whole just not coming together? If you were to put it, which one of those two things? Do you need a couple, like 2 or 3 guys to step up, or the lineup as the whole to really come together and do what they did early in the season? They were putting up 9 or 13-run performances basically every night.
Well, I think the reason why we've had some slow offensive performances in the last few games is because we have been trying to rely on one guy. Of course, that's great. When Tanner Schobel goes 4 for 5, when Nick Goodwin goes 4 for 5 with home runs, that is huge. But I think the reason why we left 11 runners on base yesterday was because we had a couple of guys who were productive, like Max Anderson, 2 for 4 at the top of the lineup. Guys like Zach Agnos and Peter Burns and Tanner Schobel are going to have to come up big if those are going to be the producers at the top of the lineup, because, again, we could be looking at more runners left on base. I think that's going to be the recipe for today. Everyone in this lineup has to produce.
Yeah, and there was a lot of hard-hit balls last night, too, and did end up and out, so you got to credit the Katuitt defense. We talked a lot about the offense, Reeves. Let's go to the mound in another night where the Braves were just stupendous. 3 hits allowed all night long. It was just mind-boggling. This Braves pitching staff really should have been 2. They do it night in and night out. Tonight, Jake Bennett getting his 3rd start of the season. What do you expect to see of the lefty?
Yeah, well, Jake Bennett has been outstanding so far. Obviously, he was roughed up against Chatham in his last outing. Just a little bit, allowed 2 runs. And then in that start at Brewster, it was excellent. 4 shutout innings. But luckily, he was taken off the hook for the loss with the Braylon Wimmer single against Chatham a little over a week ago. That was last Monday. But Bennett, big, tall lefty, throws downhill, throws hard, supplements it with a nice changeup and a good breaking ball. I'm excited what he can do today, getting the ball once again to start the game. So I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm excited to see who's going to be out of the bullpen today.
I will say one more thing. I think what I want to see as well is aggressive base runners today. I think there was an opportunity yesterday in I believe it was the 3rd or the 4th inning. Tanner Schobel was rounding second. He was about to round 3rd. Harvey Shapiro held him up. Take chances early on. Send Joe Lampe, send these guys, and get him in scoring position where, with our slow offense, we might need those guys in those positions. So I'm looking for that today.
One prediction, Calvin. One bold prediction real quick. I got to say it. I think the Braves hit 3 home runs tonight.
Wow.
300 to left, 314 to right.
Coming in.
You're not going to hit it to center. I do think the Braves get pull happy tonight, and I think it's going to prove to be the difference.
Well, I hope so, Reeves. And Daniel, that's a slippery slope, though, with those base runners, because if you get a runner throw down at 3rd or home, that could really deplete an offense's momentum. So you got to be aggressive, but not too aggressive.
Yeah.
We'll see what Harvey Shapiro does tonight when the Braves take on the Firebirds at 7 o'clock. But you can join us at 6:40 for Before the Bravos, our Braves pregame show. But until then, as always, go Braves.